So you just created a video ad and now you want to learn how to launch it as a DM ad. Well, that's perfect because in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. It's actually super simple. I'm going to walk you step by step exactly what buttons to click, what you need to do to launch your very first DM ad on Meta. So first we're going to go to the Meta Business Suite. So just go to Google or whatever browser and look up Meta Business Suite. Okay, and we'll go there. Now you're going to need to click Get Started. Okay, so you should be on a page that looks something like this. You might need to log into your Facebook account or your Instagram account, and you want to make sure that your Facebook and Instagram are connected. So sometimes if they're not, what will happen is you'll see like your Facebook account and then your Instagram account might be grayed out right here or something. And if that's the case, there will be a blue Connect Instagram button like right here. So you just want to make sure that you go through that process and that Instagram and Facebook are connected. Both the profile pictures are showing in color there, and that's how you know you're good to go. So then what you're going to want to do is make an ad account. So you're going to go to settings here in the bottom left, and then you're going to go over to add accounts. So underneath accounts here, you're going to go to add accounts, and then you're going to click the blue plus add button. You're going to click create a new ad account. You're going to give it a name. Just name it your business name. And then make sure you select your proper time zone. So I'm in Central Time. So I'm going to go Chicago. And currency USD. Next. You're going to select my business. Next. You're going to hit the checkbox. I'm not going to create this ad account because I already have one, but you would hit create an ad account, and then it will probably prompt you to add a payment method, and I would go ahead and do that right then and there, whatever card you want to use for the ads. All right, so once your ad account is created, you want to make sure that you've given yourself access to it. So you would just click on Assign People, and then make sure that your name is selected and that you are assigned so that you will be able to make changes to that ad account. Then what you're going to do is we're going to go over to the Ads Manager. You can click All Tools, and then somewhere around here, you will see Ads Manager. So click Ads Manager. Okay, and then make sure up here at the top you've selected your proper ad account that you just created. All right, so now we're here in the Ad Manager and we can go ahead and set up our ad. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the green Create button. You're going to go to Engagement Campaign. You're going to hit Continue. And you're going to select Manual Engagement Campaign and Continue. Now I'm going to X out of here real quick. And there's something that's really critical to understand about advertising, and particularly on Meta ads. So there's 3 levels to the advertising hierarchy. So there are campaigns, there are ad sets, and there are ads. So there's 3 different levels. So basically what a campaign controls is your overarching objective. So you can see if we go to, oops, so I'm going to click that. Go back to, oh my gosh. So if we click on the create button here, we can see all these different options for campaigns, sales. This would be like for e-commerce, app promotion, leads. I most commonly use this one if we're driving traffic to a landing page or a form. Engagement. This is going to be for our purpose today, creating a DM ad, driving engagements. It can be post engagements or DM conversation started. Traffic. I really never run traffic. You just kind of get a lot of low quality traffic, but it's good if you're trying to drive traffic to a site. And then awareness. So basically, campaigns control your overarching objective behind the campaign. And then your ad sets will control who actually sees the ad. So this is where we set our targeting parameters. Nowadays, it's very simple. You're going to set pretty broad open targeting, and a lot of the targeting happens in the words that you say in the actual ad creatives. And then we have the ad level itself, which is where we're going to be running our actual videos, our ad creatives, and copywriting are going to live in here. So those are the 3 levels that are important to understand about a Meta ad campaign. So we're gonna go ahead and click plus create. We're gonna go to engagement, continue, choose manual engagement campaign, continue. Okay, so now I'll just walk through it. So we're gonna give our campaign a name. You can call it something like DM campaign. Keep it really simple. Something you'll notice, I like to keep things simple. but whatever works for you with these kind of naming conventions. So campaign details, you can just keep these the same. Engagement, auction, budget. We're only going to be running one ad set, so it really doesn't matter. Basically, this determines if you have multiple ad sets within a campaign, say you have different types of audiences that you're looking to target, then you might choose ad set budget, and that would allow you to evenly distribute money between each of the ad sets, but we can just keep it on ad set budget. We'll uncheck this. A/B test, don't worry about that. Special ad categories. This just depends on your industry. So read these: financial products and services, employment, housing. So if you're in real estate, you will want to choose housing. Social issues, elections, or politics. These don't apply to most people, but if one of these applies to you, then make sure to select it, because if you try running ads in one of these categories without selecting the category, that can disable your ad account, and we don't want that. You're going to hit next, and then ad set name. So now really this is going to be who you're looking to target. So for example, for me, I have a marketing company. If I wanted to target small business owners in the Woodlands, Texas, whoever my niche is, I'm going to call it that. Small business owners, maybe North Houston, something like that. This is just to help you remember who you're targeting here. This doesn't really matter as far as the results the campaign produces, but just remind yourself. All right. Conversion, make sure it's set to message destinations. We're going to be trying to get people to start conversations with us. The Facebook page, just make sure the proper Facebook, Instagram page is selected. Performance goal, maximize number of conversations. I don't have to worry about big control or value rules or anything. Daily budget, this really just depends how aggressive you're trying to be. What I would recommend is to start out, really with a DM campaign, you can go as low as you want. I wouldn't go lower than like $10 a day. 10 to 20 is probably good. And then as you start to refine things and things start working well, then you may want to scale that. But, just for starters, just to get your feet wet, I might go $10 to $15 a day. And then you might get a message like this. You may not get any conversations with this budget. That's okay. If you run that for a few days and don't see anything, you can bump it up. It's just up to you how aggressive you want to be. Start date, just make sure it's set to today. Audience controls. All right, so here you're going to click edit on locations. And since most people that are watching this are going to be advertising to a specific local area, what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to put bubbles around wherever you want to target. So for me, say I'm running a landscaping business and I want to only target within 30 miles of where I live. So I would click drop pin and I would click over my location, and then you can come here and you can expand this out. Okay, say you wanted to target a different part of town, you can come and drop another pin. And it's really straightforward. Just wherever you want people seeing your ads, wherever they're located, that's where you should put these bubbles. And if there are any particular locations that you definitely don't want to target, maybe there are certain neighborhoods that you don't want to target, you can get more granular with your targeting. You can even do, 1 mile radius, and you could even hit exclude and then drop another pin, and this red bubble will now exclude that area. So use common sense. Wherever your target market is, that's where you want to select. Okay, so for custom audiences, don't worry about this. This is more for retargeting later down the line. But for today's purpose, we're not going to use that. Age, unless you're actively selling to people that are over 65, I would actually keep the minimum age 18 and set this to max out at 60. Because if you don't do that, you'll often find that a lot of the people that end up engaging with your ads are over 65, and a lot of times we don't want that. And so unless you're actively selling like Medicare or Medicaid or something, or selling something that's particularly for older people, then I would move the maximum age range down to 60. Genders, unless you're specifically selling to women or men, I would just keep this all genders. Detailed targeting, these are just suggestions to give the algorithm. And so I would, if you're in real estate, you could look up real estate. And then you could select, scroll through these. Real estate investing, if you're trying to get in front of investors. Real estate entrepreneur, maybe if you're marketing to other realtors. Or just real estate as an industry, if you're just selling homes. Or, get creative with this. This is just to give the algorithm suggestions. Again, this is, will maybe help speed up the learning process, but it's also not necessary per se. The algorithm will work to find the best people for you, regardless of what you put there. Ad transparency, don't worry about this. Placements, don't worry about this. You can go ahead and hit next. All right, now we get to the actual ad level. So we set up the campaign, we set up the ad set. Now we're going to set up the actual ad itself. So here we are just going to call this, I'll do something simple, usually like video ad 1, and then maybe a line, and then like Jan 2026. Something like that. So you can see, all right, what's the name of the ad? Maybe if it's a specific messaging angle or concept you're trying out, you can put that there. And then, I like to include the month. All right, so we're going to keep this. You can unselect multi-advertiser ads. All right, we're going to hit Setup Creative. You're going to click Video Ad. You're going to click Upload. And then you're going to just select your video that you want to upload. Once it is uploaded, then you can click it. You'll hit Next, skip and continue, Next. All right, now you can add your primary text. So this is the actual caption that's going to be, if it's on Instagram, below the video, or if it's on Facebook, above the video, basically breaking down, just giving people some more context and some more information. I like to make these actually pretty long so that the information is there for people if they want to see it. I'll show you an example of primary text that I'm running for my own, just so you can get an idea. So here, I'm running this ad to attract pool builders. So here's an example of primary text. If you build pools for a living, you know how unpredictable and volatile the work can be. I won't read through this whole thing. I'll let you read it. You can pause the video and look at this now. So I'm really just trying to, again, call out the audience, share some relatable pain points, desired outcomes, show that I understand what they're going through, share what I do to help, and then give them a call to action. So it's very similar to how you would want to structure an ad script, just in some different words. And then headlines, since we're running a DM ad, chat with us, or something like shoot me a message, can be very effective. And then I would just keep send message as the call to action. You're going to hit next. And then here, you're actually going to want to make sure pretty much all of these Advantage Plus creative enhancements are turned off. They often do some weird things, and we don't want those on there. So once those are turned off, you're going to hit done. All right, make sure your primary text is there. Advantage creative enhancements off. Don't worry about creative testing. All right, chat builder. So this is something you can kind of get creative with. This is as soon as people click on your ad, this is what they're going to see. So if they hit send message, then it's going to respond with this automatically. Hey, Brandon, please let us know how we can help you. So you can totally personalize this to say whatever you want. I might go in there and personalize it, but it's really up to you. If you have specific questions that you want to ask people that is helpful information for you to gain in that first interaction, then, personalize it to that. Just, put yourselves in the mind of your target market and really think about how would they want to interact with you based on your industry, your expertise, and the problems that you're looking to help them solve. So once you've decided those questions, you can also put automated responses here. So if they click, can I learn more about your business? If they click that there, then you can automatically respond to them. And then you can have dynamic fields too, using the first name of the recipient, last name, Facebook page name to customize a response, like sure thing, first name, blah, blah, blah. So you can get creative with that. And then you can also add attachments. So invite them to call you. I guess that's really the only option you have. So once you've dialed that in how you want it, you can just click save. And that's really it. So you go back through, make sure that you selected everything properly. Ad set budget, special ad categories. You set your targeting location to where you want it, your budget to where you want it. Added any detailed targeting, demographic interests, moved it down to a 60 age range if you're not selling to an older demographic. Titled your ad, uploaded the ad, made sure the primary text and the headline looks good to go, no creative enhancements turned on, these questions are set the way you want them to, and then you're good to hit publish. And now your ad is live. You can come and come into the ad manager and view the performance of this ad at any time. And just expect that when you're running a DM ad, not every conversation is going to be a qualified lead. That's part of the nature of running a DM ad, and that's okay. There are other types of appointment funnels that you can build in the future that are a little bit more complex but comprehensive that you can automate more. But I think for beginners, this is a really good first funnel to build and start getting your toes wet with paid advertising. So that's it. Congratulations. Now you've created your first ad and it is live. So go grow your business with this info. Hope you get some good leads and hope you make some sales. Happy marketing.